On my recent trip to CES 2026, my one goal, apart from the one event that I was invited for, which was the Samsung First Look event, was to find accessories for iPhone that I could share with you. Robotics and I think that's been kind of overdone. And yes, the robots are coming, and so are different AI things, and it's going to be incorporated to everything from your fridge to your microwave. So I want to kind of skip that part. Now, down below, you can find the different chapters so that way you can jump to the part of the video that interests you most. The very first place I want to start is with the First Look Samsung event, in which they held a press conference, and then in the exhibition room is where I got to lay my eyes on the Micro Rgb TV, which it doesn't matter how much camera footage that you see of this TV, you have to lay your own eyes on it to appreciate the video quality and just the picture quality that this TV is going to provide. It's absolutely amazing. It's 130 inches, which is plenty large. I myself actually just got a Samsung OLED 77-inch, which I think is massive, but this kind of takes that to another level. It's pretty much almost double the size of my current TV. Another thing on display at the Samsung exhibition was the trifold. And this is just something that is absolutely amazing. What really surprised me is how light the device is. As you may or may not know, I really enjoyed the Z Fold 7 just because of its thin form factor and the fact that when it's folded up, it doesn't really feel like any different than any other phone out there. But with this one, you do feel it a little bit more because it is 3 screens folded in, right? But in terms of its weight, it's not that much different than the Z Fold 7. So again, this is something that I only got my hands on for a few moments at the event with so many people there and everything. But this is definitely something that I am looking forward to trying for myself, buying it, owning it, and giving it a full test before I share my final thoughts with you. Now, another thing that you need to know in terms of Samsung is all of their AI that is going to be coming to everything from their refrigerator to the washing machine to the TV. And here's the picture I'll paint for you, which is going to happen at some point in the near future. You're going to put stuff into your refrigerator, and your fridge, because it has cameras and knows everything that's in there, will be able to suggest you a random recipe based on the ingredients you have. But that fridge will also be able to send to your oven that same recipe, so that way your oven knows exactly how to cook that recipe because your fridge told you. And they both have AI and they've both communicated with each other. Then what's going to happen is, as you're at dinner and let's say you're having that pasta dish that the refrigerator and oven chefed up for you, right? Let's say you drop some noodles on your shirt and you get a little stain. You say to your wife, you're like, oh man, I got my shirt dirty. Well, the little robot that's going to be roaming in around the house or maybe your TV, they're going to be able to hear that. And they're going to let the washing machine know that, hey, you've got a shirt coming in there that's going to need some washing. So that is basically the life that we're going to be living at some point in the future, which I'm not really fond of, simply because if AI is doing everything for us, what are we going to be doing? Are we just going to be like a bunch of zoo animals just kind of chilling and just having things done for us? I don't know. I'm not a big fan of AI and robotics and everything. I think some implementations, like what Samsung showed in their TV, those are great. Like, for example, let's say you're watching a sports game. Samsung will be able to have the AI in their TV remove the broadcast if you like, if that's something that you're interested in. That type of stuff is cool. But, having AI and robotics handle everything for you, I think that's a bit too much, but that's just my take. I would love to know your take, so drop that in the comments. So now moving on to the fun part, which is accessories for iPhone. And one of the very first booths that really attracted me was a company I haven't even heard of. I don't know about them, maybe you know, but it's a company called Rolling Square. And they've got a bunch of cool stuff on display, such as like wallet cards that are actually work with like Find My. They're a company from Switzerland, And I wanted to highlight them in case people don't know about it, because I know from my own business that it's very hard to get your name out there, especially in the tech space. So they've got a tiny wall cube, which is 65 watts, which was by far the coolest thing simply because of the size that it is. But then they've got a bunch of cool accessories like this new digital camera that's coming out that's going to be able to send photos directly to your phone. And it is going to have some kind of like subscription model as well. But lots of like cool stuff of theirs was on display, and I cannot wait to actually get some samples from them or buy these for myself so that way I can share with you my honest thoughts as I normally do and put it through that testing that I put everything through. Now, another cool product that I ran into was at the Aukey booth, and it was like their desktop dock. I think the name's like Mag Fusion Desk Hive something. I'll put the exact name in the description because, again, just few moments that I had with it. But what I really liked about it was it had two USB-C like retractable cables, multiple ports at the front, and it's got like a MagSafe dock at the top so you can place your phone on there. So a very cool product, and I think that would make for a great accessory for anyone's desk setup. Now, one product I have shown off here on this channel are like Gamesir controllers, just because I've loved using them with the iPad mini 6 and 7, and I've also enjoyed just using them with my iPhones because they've got USB-C and they are much more affordable compared to like the Backbone Pro gaming controller that I have. Now, they had a cool little product which is called like the Taco, which your phone actually like goes inside of, and it's got like this retro Game Boy style controls and stuff. Really cool. And whether and how it actually like works and stuff, like I'm not sure how many games are actually compatible with it, but it looked like an interesting product and definitely something I would want to try. Now, what I really loved was their actual USB-C controller. Not only does it have an improved look and it felt great in the hand, but the fact that it works over USB-C with the iPad mini 6 and 7. And if you're like me and you've gamed on those iPads, not only do you get a larger screen, but having USB-C connectivity just means that there's not going to be much latency when it comes to like doing it over Bluetooth instead. So definitely something that I will be checking out very, very soon. Now, one product that I was actually able to grab a sample of is this MagSafe Notepad diary. This thing is really cool. This is by Moft, and it's got vegan leather, which, as you know, I like original leather, so definitely not something I care about. But the cool thing is that this has MagSafe, right? And you've got a little notepad in here, and you've got this like magnetic tiny little pen, so you can literally take a note and jot down something and just keep it with you. And they've even got like a little slot in here where you can actually put the note, so you can take the sticky off, put the note in here, and now you can keep this safe and sound for whenever you might need it later. Definitely not something that is necessary by any means, right? But just very interesting to see because it is a cool product. And I know Moth makes a lot of different products, but this was one that stood out to me at their booth. And I really like this, and I think that it would be useful even to carry as like a standalone EDC product. Now, another familiar product was ESR's 3-in-1 folding charger, but yeah, I've shown off this one because I really like this for travel. But the thing is that the new one is going to actually have like their cryo boost cooling like built into the actual charger. And this, what's nice about is the fact that it folds up and it's so slim. It's almost like having a MagSafe wallet with you, but this is your charger instead, and you literally can do your watch, AirPods, and phone all in one. And so they have the Qi 2.2 variant of this coming out soon, and I can't wait to definitely test it out. And when it comes to Qi 2.2, they actually had a Qi2 booth over there as well. And that is something that I've even incorporated into my own products. Like this is my Qi 2.2 3-in-1 charging system, which has like a little swivel right here, cooling fan, watch charging, and your AirPods charging all in one. Now, what you need to know about Qi 2.2 is that although you're getting faster charging, is it really necessary to upgrade every single charger to Qi 2.2? No, it's not. For example, if you've got a bedside charger that is already doing MagSafe at 15 watts, I mean, it's charging overnight. What difference does it make if it's 15 or 25 watts? Plus, you have to keep in mind that all of these systems, right, they're only going to charge at that super fast speed initially, but then they all taper off and they go back down to around 11, 12, 13 watts. I've tested that again and again on so many different chargers. So you only get that fast charging in a pinch when your battery is really low and the battery is able to support that kind of like fast charging. But then they all taper off. So that is something important to keep in mind for Qi 2.2. Now, one booth that I was actually looking forward to visiting was the Aurzen booth. I actually have their projector. It's here in my studio, and I use it with my Nintendo Switch 2 and Apple TV when I want to watch football games or play games. And it's an awesome projector. It's not the most expensive, doesn't have the best picture quality, but it gets the job done. And what I really liked that they had on showcase there was like this portable one. And I was able to get a sample of it and test it out in my hotel room. And it's great for what it does. It can be run with a power bank, only has one HDMI input, but still for what it is, it's a great projector. And lastly, like the really cool projector that they had on display was something called the Zip, I believe, and it folds down like 3 ways. So it's very similar to this ESR charger, to like literally, but instead it folds down 3 ways. And they had it on display with a Nintendo Switch 2 just playing Mario Kart and having it beam down on this table surface. And that was just really cool because like just being able to have like a portable screen with you that isn't a screen and is the size of like a charger, that's really amazing. And so I'm really looking forward to actually testing out their projectors even further and seeing maybe I'll change the one I have up here. Now, last but not least, I've got two smart home things to share with you. One is going to be Aqaara's smart lock. So this has like ultra wideband detection. So where if you move close to the lock, as you approach the lock, it's going to unlock. Currently, I've had theirs over a year now where you just tap to unlock. So I can tap my phone on there with the Apple Home key, or I can tap my Apple Watch. I often just like literally just press my watch up against my lock and it just opens up. And I even have a shortcut on my phone which requires me to do like actually authenticate it because it will unlock the front door just with my action button. So that is really cool. That was something I liked. And then I also liked this new sensor they have, which is going to be able to detect different things like motion and vibrations and stuff. So they had it on display on a mailbox. So you can set it up to where, like, let's say when the mailman closes your mailbox, that little bit of vibration can trigger a notification, which is going to be sent to your phone saying that you've got mail. Anyone remember AOL? You've got mail? Yeah, that good times. Good times. But anyway, the only other smart home product I really liked was Dreame was showing off this like robot vacuum assistant. So if you've ever had a robot vacuum, right, you know that they're only good for one floor, unless you manually take them upstairs to the other floor. But then you also have to keep in mind that for mopping and stuff, they have to go back to their station, refill and everything. Well, Dreame was showcasing their assistant, which isn't available yet, but this will be able to have its own water tank, go up the stairs, and so when your robot is done with the main floor and ready to go upstairs, it's going to call on the assistant robot and it's just going to climb into that. That one is going to take it upstairs, and it's even got a water tank so that way if it's mopping upstairs, your robot vacuum can come back to the station, fill up the water, and continue doing the job. So, pretty cool stuff. I mean, it's still in a prototype phase and they've been testing it. And as I, talked with them over there, they're very close to bringing this, but they don't have an exact date yet. So those were two like smart home things that really stood out to me. Other than that, there was a bunch of robotics and AI and everything. And as I said, I'm not really going to dig into that. That is everything that I found interesting at CES. Of course, there's like tons of stuff, but not everything is worth covering. So look out for these accessories once I get my hands on them and I'm able to actually test them. Because if you watch football and you know, like Aaron Rodgers always shows up in those State Farm ads, right, with the discount double check. Well, I want to start something called the Q check, in which once I put my Q check through a device and I say that go buy it, you are going to be nothing short of satisfied if I've stated that for any specific device. I'll try to find links to all this stuff if you do want to pick up something for yourself ahead of me actually giving you the Q check. But like always, thank you so much for your time. If you've enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up as it'll really help this video get out to more people. And most importantly, take care and I will see you in the next video.